You're sitting at the kitchen table. It's 11:40 p.m. on a Thursday. Your wife is upstairs asleep. The laptop is open. 2 bank tabs, 2 pay stubs, 2 direct deposits that landed this week. You add them together, the number looks like it should be enough. It looks like it should be more than enough. And yet the savings account says $1,840. You've been married 9 years. You both work full-time. Combined, you bring in $134,000 a year. And the number in that savings account is the same number it was 3 years ago. You close the laptop. You sit there in the dark with the hum of the refrigerator and the blue glow of the stove clock. And you think the thing you don't say out loud, not to her, not to anyone, make more than our parents ever did. We have less to show for it. That sentence doesn't make sense, and that's the problem, because it's true. And nobody can explain why. Nobody has, till now. Rewind. 1978. Your father is 29. He works at a plant outside Dayton, Ohio. Union $14,600 a year, adjusted for inflation. That's roughly $68,000 in today's money. Your mother stays home. 2 kids. A 3-bedroom ranch on a street where every house looks the same. And nobody locks the front door. 1 income. 1 paycheck every Friday. And here's the thing nobody talks about anymore. That single paycheck covered the mortgage, the car, the groceries, the insurance, the kids' clothes, the church donation, and still left enough at the end of the month to put $80 into a savings account at the credit union. $80 every month. Without a spreadsheet, without a budgeting app, without a YouTube video telling him to optimize his cash flow. He did it with 1 income. He wasn't a genius. He wasn't special. He was average. It's the word that matters. Average. The median household income in 1978 supported a median household life. 1 car, 1 house, 1 vacation a year. A kid's college fund that grew slowly but grew. The math worked. Not because people were disciplined, because the math was designed to work. Housing cost 2.4 times the median income. A car cost 3 months of pay. Groceries took 14% of the household budget. The numbers fit inside the paycheck with room left over, and the room left over was the whole point. That room was the margin. The margin was the thing that let a family breathe, plan, fail once, recover, and still end up okay. Your father never called it financial freedom. He just called it Friday. Friday always came. Then something changed. Not 1 thing. 100 things. But the biggest one, the one nobody frames as a loss, is this. Your mother went to work. Everyone called it progress. 1,994. Your mother is 41. The plant laid off 1/3 of its floor in 91. Your father kept his job. But the overtime dried up. The $80 a month became $40, then $20, then nothing. Your mother takes a job at the medical billing office downtown, part-time, $11 an hour, 25 hours a week. The first paycheck is $1,100 after taxes. She deposits it into a separate account. Her account. She calls it the breathing room. And for a while, that's exactly what it is. The breathing room pays for the water heater that dies in March. It covers the transmission on the Ford in August. It fills the gap when your father's hours get cut again in the fall. The second income is a shield. That's what it was supposed to be. A second wall between the family and the thing that used to be 1 bad month away. And it worked. For a while. Here's what nobody tells you about the second paycheck. It doesn't stay a shield. It becomes a floor. And once it's the floor, the house gets built on top of it. And then the house needs the floor. Then the floor can't be removed. Your mother works part-time for 2 years. Then the billing office goes full-time. Then the hours creep. Then the title changes. Then the pay goes up. $16 an hour, then $19, then $23. And the breathing room gets bigger, and the spending gets bigger with it. It's not because anyone decided it would, because the spending always does. The second bedroom becomes an office. The office needs a desk. Desk needs a computer. The computer needs internet. The internet needs the higher tier because both of you are on it now. The car that was fine for 1 driver isn't fine for 2. You need a second one. Second one needs insurance. Insurance needs the higher deductible because the premium got too high. The higher deductible means the savings account needs more in it. The savings account needs more, so the breathing room shrinks. and nobody notices because the total income went up. The total income always goes up. And as long as the total goes up, nobody asks where the margin went. The margin is gone. It left one $40 purchase at a time, one upgrade at a time. One we can afford it now at a time. And the second paycheck, the shield, the breathing room, just made the family bigger. And bigger costs more. And more needs both paychecks. Both paychecks are now the minimum, not the surplus. It's the minimum. You are 34. It's 2026. You and your wife, Karen, both work full-time. You make $72,000. She makes $62,000. Combined, $134,000. You live in a 3-bedroom in a suburb outside Columbus. The mortgage is $2,340 a month. The car payments, both of them, are $890. Daycare for the youngest is $1,400. The after-school program is $380. Groceries, $920. Utilities, $410. Insurance, all of it, $640. The phone plans. The streaming, the gym, the subscriptions you forgot to cancel, $310. You do the math. You don't need a spreadsheet. You do it in your head at the red light on the way home. $7,290 a month in fixed costs. Your combined take-home is $8,100. You have $810 a month left. 2 incomes. $134,000 a year. And the margin is $810. And that's a good month. That's the month nobody gets sick. Nobody's car needs a tire. Nobody's kid needs the $200 field trip fee. Your coworker Greg makes $68,000. Single income. His wife stays home with the kids. He drives a 2017 Silverado with 140,000 miles. He lives in a house half the size of yours. And last month, casually over bad break room coffee, he mentioned he paid off his mortgage. Paid it off? You make twice what he makes. You owe $287,000 on yours. You don't say anything. You stir your coffee. You go back to your desk. And the question sits in your chest the way it always does. Not anger, not jealousy. Just the quiet, specific confusion of doing everything right and ending up with less. Here's what happened. When the second income entered the household, the economy didn't say, great, this family has more margin. The economy said, great, this family can pay more. Housing prices didn't stay at 2.4 times income. They went to 4.2, then 5.1, then 6.3. The second paycheck didn't buy a second life. It bought the same life at a higher price. Because the price adjusted to the buyer. And the buyer now had 2 wallets. The mortgage company doesn't ask how many paychecks fund the payment. It asks what the combined income qualifies for. And the combined income qualifies for more house. And more house costs more. And more house needs more furniture, more maintenance, more insurance, more property tax. The second income didn't expand the life. It expanded the cost of the life. And the expansion happened so slowly, so naturally, so reasonably, that nobody felt it happening. It felt like progress. It felt like earning. It felt like the American dream working, and it was working. For the people selling the house, not for the people buying it. Here's the part that actually closes. The part nobody warns you about. You are 37. Karen's mother gets sick. Not suddenly, slowly. The kind of slow that starts with a phone call on a Sunday and ends with a decision on a Thursday. Someone needs to be there. Someone needs to drive her to the appointments. Someone needs to handle the insurance calls, the medication schedule, the meals. And the someone, the way it always works, is the person whose income costs less to lose. Karen makes $62,000. You make $72,000. The math is simple. The math is always simple. And the math says Karen stops working, or cuts to part-time, or takes the leave. And the household income drops by $62,000, or by $30,000, or by enough. And here's where the trap shows its teeth. The house is still $2,340. The cars are still $890. The groceries don't shrink. The insurance doesn't shrink. The mortgage doesn't care. The bank doesn't send a condolence card. The payment is the payment, and the payment was built for 2 incomes. It was qualified for 2 incomes, priced for 2 incomes. And now there's one. And the margin, The $810 goes negative. Not because anyone was reckless, not because anyone bought a boat, because the entire structure was built on the assumption that 2 paychecks would always be there. And the assumption was never tested until it was. And now Karen is at her mother's house 4 days a week, and you're at yours, doing the math at 11:40 p.m. on a Thursday, staring at a savings account that says $1,840. We can't afford to live on one income. We never could. Just never had to find out. And that sentence is the sound of the trap closing. Not with a bang, with a whisper. You open the laptop again, because the number will have changed. Because some part of you needs to actually look this time instead of glancing. You pull up the statements, both of them. You go back 5 years. You do the thing you've never done. You add up what the second income actually added, not the gross, the net. It's the net after the second car, after the second car's insurance, after the commute costs, after the work clothes, after the lunch is out because nobody's cooking when both of you are gone until 6, after the after school, the convenience meals, the subscriptions, the things that exist only because both of you are gone. The second income brought in $62,000 gross. After taxes, $48,400. After the second car payment and insurance, $39,200. After the commute, the lunches, the wardrobe, $34,100. After the after school, the convenience meals, the subscriptions, $26,300. You stare at the number. $26,300. That's what the second income actually added. It's not $62,000, not $48,400, $26,300. And the mortgage went up $14,000. It's a year when you bought the bigger house. The car payments went up $6,400. The property tax went up $3,200. The insurance went up $2,800. You do the subtraction. $26,300 minus $26,400. The number is negative. You read it again. Still negative. The second income didn't add wealth. It added cost. And the cost ate the income. And the income ate the time. And the time was the thing you can't get back. You think about your mother. It's the breathing room. The $1,100 that was supposed to be a shield. You think about how it started as $1,100 and ended as a full-time career and a second car and a bigger house. And a life that needed both of you just to stay still. You don't close the laptop this time. You pull up a blank spreadsheet. Not because you have a plan. Because for the first time, you're doing the math on purpose. You type one number at the top, $72,000, your salary alone. And you build the life under it, not the life you have. The life that fits. The house that fits one income. The car that fits one income. The groceries that fit one income. You write the numbers down, they're smaller. They're a lot smaller. And something in your chest loosens when you see them. Not because smaller is better. It's because smaller is survivable. Because smaller means if Karen needs to be at her mother's house for 6 months, the house doesn't collapse. Because smaller means the life has a floor that one person can hold. And the floor is the thing your grandfather had. And the thing you don't. You're not going to quit your job. Karen's not going to quit hers. That's not the point. The point is the structure underneath. The point is building a life that could survive on one. Not because one is the plan. It's because one is the test. And if the life passes the test, the second income becomes what it was supposed to be. A shield. A breathing room. A margin, not a load-bearing wall. You type the numbers into the spreadsheet, you save the file, you name it something boring. It's baseline, you close the laptop, you go upstairs. Karen is asleep. The house is quiet. You stand in the hallway and look at the walls, the furniture, the life that costs $7,290 a month to keep standing, and you think about your mother, the breathing room, the $1,100 that was supposed to be a shield. And you think about how a shield becomes a wall, becomes a ceiling, becomes a cage. One reasonable decision at a time. It's Friday now. The direct deposits hit. Both of them. You watch them land. $3,410 and $2,890. You don't feel the lift you used to feel. You feel something else. Something quieter. You open the spreadsheet. You move $1,200 into the savings account. Not because it's easy. It's because you built the month to fit without it. You built the month to fit on one. And the second one goes into the account. And the account grows. And for the first time in 9 years, the number at the bottom isn't the same number it was last year. It's bigger. Not by much. By enough. And enough is the whole point. You close the laptop. You make coffee. Karen comes downstairs. She asks how you slept. You say fine. You mean it differently than you used to? You pour her a cup. You sit at the table, the same kitchen, the same house. Nothing has changed. Everything has, because the math finally fits inside the life. And the life finally fits inside one paycheck. And the second paycheck, the one that started as a shield, the one that became a wall, the one that built a cage out of reasonable decisions, is a shield again. And then a shield is something you hold, not something that holds you. Your grandfather had a word for it. He didn't call it financial freedom. He called it Friday, and Friday always came, and it still does. You just had to build the life small enough to fit inside it.